Hey guys, I'm Josiah, and I'm learning JavaScript. Now, I know this video really should have been at the beginning of the series, but I've clearly not been planning anything out. Anyway, I still wanted to go over types and values because it's extremely important in JavaScript. I won't be going into fine details of each type, but if I decide to dive deeper into a specific type, I might make a video on it. So, what are types in JavaScript? Well, in JavaScript, types correspond to values that are directly manipulated by you using the JavaScript language. The JavaScript types are undefined, null, Boolean, string, symbol, number, and object. A value in JavaScript is characterized by a JavaScript type. Basically, there are different types of values you can assign to a variable. Each value has a different type. Let's take a look at those. The undefined type has exactly one value, called undefined. Any variable that has not been assigned a value has the value undefined. This perfectly explains the behavior of undefined. If I declare a variable in JavaScript but don't set a value, and then call said variable, it needs to have some sort of value to return in order to allow the program to function. The value it gives is of the type undefined, and it tells you that the variable hasn't been assigned a value yet. The null type is similar to undefined in how it behaves. The null type has exactly one value, called null. However, null is not undefined. You have to assign the value of null to a variable for it to be null. Null can be useful if you need a quick way of expressing the current value of a variable being nothing. Undefined means that the value hasn't been decided yet. Null is it's been decided, but it's nothing. There are some oddball corner cases for null that I'll go over in a types corner cases video, so stay tuned for that. The Boolean type is probably a little more well known to beginners. The Boolean type represents a logical entity having two values called true and false. If you've ever answered true or false questions, you're giving Boolean answers. The Boolean is used in a lot of different places in JavaScript, more than just saying a value is true or false. The quickest example is if you check the equality of two variables, like we did in our first video, your equality check will return true or false. So you're getting Boolean results from equality checks. Let's move on to strings. Strings are a bit more complicated, but we'll simplify it. The string type is generally used to represent textual data in a running JavaScript program, in which case each element in the string is treated as a UTF-16 code unit value. This means that strings hold text. That's simple enough. But the string.prototype is an intrinsic object that has several methods that you can use to modify a string or pull more information about a string. This probably lends to the myth that everything in JavaScript is an object. So let's move on to symbols. The symbol type is the set of all non-string values that may be used as the key of an object property. Each symbol value immutably holds an associated value called description that is either undefined or a string value. Symbols can add some extra functionality to other value types. A well-known symbol is toPrimitive. We can use this toPrimitive to coerce values into primitive types. Now let's move on to numbers. Numbers can be used for simple arithmetic operations. The number type has exactly 18 quintillion 437 quadrillion 736 trillion 874 billion 400 crap. The number type has exactly 18 quintillion 437 quadrillion 736 trillion 874 billion 454 million 810,627 values. Except the 9 quadrillion 7 except a big swath of distinct not a number values are represented in JavaScript as a single special nan value. I'm never reading large numbers again. Now, to JavaScript code, all nan values are indistinguishable from each other. I explained before that nan is in fact a number in a previous video. Other than nan, there are two other special values called positive infinity and negative infinity. Everything in between is finite. It should be noted that there is both a positive 0 and a negative 0. Why? Let's move on to objects. An object is logically a collection of properties. Each property is either a data property or an accessor property. Properties are identified using key values. A property key value is either a JavaScript string or a symbol. Property keys are used to access properties and their values. There are two kinds of access for properties, get and set, corresponding to value retrieval and assignment respectively. This lets you store data more dynamically, as property values you can call back and read. Each object in a JavaScript engine is associated with a set of internal methods that define its runtime behavior. This lets you perform an action on an object. These internal methods are not actually a part of the JavaScript language, but they are a part of the ECMA script spec. Yeah. Now, if you're declaring a variable, don't declare anything that's not an object with new. This declares it as an intrinsic object and can cause complications and slowdowns in your development if you weren't expecting this. This also lends to the whole everything is an object myth. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something. If you want to check out any of the materials I've referenced, I'll have that link down below. If anyone can come up with a better way of explaining types in such a short period of time, please leave your explanation in the comment section. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.